What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Welcome back to another post-match stream for you guys. Obviously, we were in the stadium yesterday, and I, for one, thought it was a really good performance from the lads yesterday. We are through safe passage into the fifth round. And just before we get into the game and into Antonio's press conference, the draw for the next round has been done, and Spurs have been drawn against Middlesbrough away. Which is going to be an interesting tie. I mean, a long journey up north for the lads for this one. And, you know, when you look at the draw, it looks as though all the big teams have been kept apart. But before I read into the draw and the rest of the fixtures, what do you make out of the draw? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I'm obviously gives us a good chance to go through, but Middlesbrough now under Chris Wilder. They've definitely improved since he's been appointed, and obviously knocking out Man United in the last round. So clearly they've shown they're no mugs, and it's not going to be an easy tie. And it could even be a case, I think it goes to a replay, doesn't it, this time? So it could even be a case that it goes to replay and we take him back to the lane. But definitely, I'm happy that we've got a championship side, and it definitely gives us the big advantage of getting into the quarterfinals. And yeah, I'm happy in that sense. Yeah, that's it pretty much.
Did you watch the Middlesbrough United game?
Yeah, I was eating dinner, but I saw bits of it.
So obviously I watched extra time.
They had lots of chances, didn't they, United?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They had a lot of chances, and with Harry Kane in the form that he's in, if he plays in that game and they present us with those kind of chances, you got to say we should be going through without a replay. Yeah,
Man United to be kicking themselves they didn't win that game, that's for sure. It was although and also the goal Middlesbrough scored was a handball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Even though by the strict laws of the game that have been rewritten for the handball law, you can technically say it was right to be given. But I think that any football fan watching that would think that should definitely be disallowed. I think people want football to disallow that goal, and they got lucky with that. So you could argue they got lucky to go through, but I thought defensively, especially in extra time, they were so solid. Man United created nothing. And, Chris Wilder, you saw what he did with Sheffield United, how much he improved them and got them promoted. I know went sour near the end, but he's a very good manager. He's a very good manager. So I can see it definitely being a tough tie. And they're going to they're going to give 100%. It's going to be very, very difficult. And we got as well, it comes off the back, it's the end of it's the fourth away trip in a row. That game's going to be, we'll have City away, Burnley away, Leeds away.
That run, is it?
And Borough away. Yeah, it'll be at the end of that run. So we'll have 4 away games up north in 12 days. So whether, it's going to be draining on the squad. I think it might be, to be honest, I think it's at the end of an international break, is it not? Because isn't there one at the end of Feb?
What date are they saying
About 5th of March.
5th, so I think it's just before the international break.
Before the international... No, because there's one at the end of March.
No, sorry, yeah, the international break's at the end of March.
And isn't there another one at the end of this month?
Don't think so.
End of Feb. I think there's one in Feb, right?
Really?
Or not? No, am I wrong?
How many bloody international breaks? I don't think there's one at the end of this month.
I think usually at the end of February there is. I think. Let me check. I'm pretty sure.
I thought there was only a South Korea game at the end of this month. I don't think it's a whole...
Yeah, maybe you're right. 25th. No, there's a break from the 25th of Feb to the 5th of March.
Okay.
Would that not mean... Oh no, 5th of March is Premier League. I'm confused now.
I don't think there is one at the end of this month. I really don't. I know there is one at the end of March.
25th of Feb. Oh no, because February's 28 days, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not at the end of this month. But yeah, at the end of March there is. Anyway.
So look, the draw has been made, and we got Middlesbrough away, which you got to say, out of the championship sides, you got to say it is a hard task going to face a Chris Wilder side at home. The home crowd will be up for it as well, but you got to fancy our chances to go through. Like I said before, all the big teams have been kept apart. I'll read you out the draw now. It's Luton at home to Chelsea, Crystal Palace at home to Stoke, Peterborough at home to Manchester City, Liverpool or Cardiff, or Liverpool 1-0 up.
2-0 up now.
2-0 up now.
Yeah.
So Liverpool against Norwich, Southampton against West Ham, Middlesbrough against Tottenham, Forest or Leicester against Huddersfield, and Everton against Bournemouth or Boreham Wood. It's interesting that there's literally only now 2, because of Liverpool, all Premier League ties in the last 16.
Yeah. they've all been kept apart, which means the last day is going to be so tough.
Yeah.
All the big boys likely to be in it. So it's not going to be easy in this tie. But Conte does have a great record in the FA Cup. He's never not made an FA Cup final. So
he's only made it twice.
2 out of 2.
2 out of 2, yeah.
Well, so it's pretty good going.
You know what? Jose Mourinho never not won a trophy at any club. And
exactly.
Then come Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, let's not mention that. You had to bring that up, didn't you? But look, yeah, Conte, he does have a good record in the FA Cup, and we're going pretty well. Yesterday I thought we swept Brighton aside really easy, really well. I thought it was really good. And whether when we come up against, depends who we get in there. If we beat Borough, depends who we get. But if we get a home tie, it can beat anyone.
Agreed.
Why not?
Agreed. All right, so that is the draw for the 5th round. I saw people mentioning in the comments that there is no replays, but I'm pretty sure 3rd and 4th round they confirm there are no replays. Then from the 5th round onwards, replays will be back. So
unless they said 3rd and 4th there won't be, but they haven't decided yet.
Yeah,
maybe that's the case.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It could be. It could be. It says here replays will return. Up to and including the 4th round of. Oh no, there are no replays. There's no replays. The whole thing. They're saying replays will return 22-23.
Oh, okay. There you go then. No replays.
All right, so no replays. I stand corrected. So yeah, that is the stuff for the FA Cup 5th round draw. Let's move on and let's hear every word Antonio Conte had to say on the game yesterday in his post-match press conference.
Okay. Okay, we will start with Chris Nightingale, please.
Thank you very much. Evening, Antonio.
Good evening, everybody.
Okay. 2 goals for Harry Kane. He nearly got an assist as well. Are we seeing Harry Kane returning to his near best?
But for sure, and we need to try to to improve the players, no? To improve the players, and I think Harry also in the past when in the games that he didn't score, and I like the performance, and because Harry is a player that he scored a lot in the past, and he's scoring a lot. He's number 9, but I think what we can appreciate, me and also the whole team, and his attitude, his commitment for the team, and I think this is the most important thing for us. Then for sure, and to score 2 goals is important because he's number 9. He's used to score many goals, and I think he's going into also he's improving his. We are working also under physical condition with the team, and we are trying to improve the intensity also during the training session, and I think all these situation can improve, no? Can improve the performance with all the players. But for sure, I'm happy for him, but I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for Son, that for Romero to back into our team was important, and it was a pity for Eric Dyer because yesterday he had a little problem. The medical department decided don't take risk, and I think we have to be pleased and to continue in this way. And we know very well that this trophy is important. It's important because it's a great competition. It's a great trophy, an historical trophy in England. And now we have to move on and to start to think on Wednesday, because we have another important game against Southampton, and we have to prepare very well because the league is very tough, and we want to try to stay very close for important position.
Both your new signings came on off the bench to make their debuts. What did you make of their performances?
Yeah, but it was important also to breathe, no, the new atmosphere for the two new signs for us, for Deki Kulusevski and for Rodrigo Betancourt, and it was important to come in and to understand the intensity of this league, and I repeat, two good players, two young players with talent, and they can help us. And Rodrigo has, despite his age, only 24 years old, has a lot of experience because he played 20 games, and with Juventus, and Kulusevski the same. I think they can help us, and I'm pleased that I gave them the opportunity to come in and also to breathe this fantastic atmosphere, no, in our stadium, and our fans. The noise tonight was so intense that it was very difficult also to communicate with the players.
And just finally, from me, if that's okay, how good was it to have Son back?
Sorry?
How good was it to have Sonny back playing?
Yeah, and was a good news, and what was a good news for us. Sonny is an important player for us. He's an important player for us, and he's decisive, and he knows very well. Today I wanted to give him 65 minutes, 70 minutes, because when you come back after a serious injury, I prefer in a week that we have 3 weeks to manage very well, no? Son and also Romero, because after serious injury to come back was a good news, but at the same time we have to try to manage very well, don't take risk, because they are important players for us.
Thanks, Chris. Jonathan Veal, please.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Antonio. It was sort of well known that you were looking for a new right wing back in the transfer market, but Emerson's played today and he was involved in the goal. I was wondering what your thoughts on his performance were.
As I said to you before, and it was important. It was important to for the new signs to come in, and I repeat, to understand very well, because this league is very difficult, and when you come here from another league, you need a bit of time to understand the intensity, to understand that here the difficulty is very high. And for me tonight to have the opportunity to give them the possibility to come in and to play for 20-25 minutes, it was important for Kulusevski and Betancourt. I repeat, two good signs for us. They can help us for the rest of the season. Now start the second part of the season, and I think with these two new signs, we are more complete as a squad.
After the goal, he was seen to run over to the bench. He seemed to be pointing at somebody or talking to somebody. Do you know what that was about? Emerson, after the goal.
Emerson, yeah, but Emerson, he needed of this goal, and I think his performance was really top tonight. He played very well, and yeah, it's important for the confidence. It's important for him, and don't forget that also Emerson is only 20 years old, and to come here and to play another league is not simple. It's not. There are a lot of difficulty, and but Emerson is a good player. He knows very well that there are a lot of space for improvement, to score a goal was important for the confidence, for himself, and especially for the team.
Okay, we got
Thank
time
you
for
very
one
much.
more. Sam Wallace, please.
Hi, Antonio.
Hi.
I could just ask, you mentioned in one of your first answers that you felt that the team was showing the intensity that we come to expect from Conte teams. And also you heard the crowd singing your name. Did it feel more like the Spurs team that you hope to create tonight?
The players know very well that we want to play with and to bring high intensity during the game, and we want to try to do this in every game, and for sure, especially in the first half, we brought an important intensity during the game, and we want to try to play exciting football, no, with the ball, without the ball, and to try to involve our fans to be happy for what they are seeing, they are watching, and I think we have to continue in this way. To play with this intensity, you need to have a good squad, because when you play every 3 days, and it's important also to make rotation, and but also when you make rotation, the quality has to stay at the same level, and otherwise you risk to lose points, and I think we have to pay great attention under this aspect. And for this reason, I said to you that with Kulusevski and Betancourt, we added 2 players in roles that we needed to improve the quality and also the numerical aspect. Yeah.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was every word Antonio Conte had to say on the 3-1 win yesterday. And I just love listening to the man speak. I mean, he just speaks complete facts, doesn't he? There's no beating around the bush or anything. He just speaks hard, cold facts. And that's what I love about him, really.
Yeah, he's usually very honest in his press conference, Conte, and I do definitely appreciate a lot of his comments. And he had some interesting things to say, especially on Emerson and on the new signings as well.
Well, we say he says complete facts, but he did say Emerson's 20 when he's 23.
23? No, he's 22 or 23?
He's 23, yeah.
23, yeah. Well, yeah, must have had his birthday recently.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
So, yeah. Well, he's still pretty young, though.
I know. I'm just nitpicking, you know.
Yeah, but I think he's right. I think a lot of people have been very quick to jump on Emerson. But I think, he's still a work in progress as a player, let alone new country, new position. He's already on his second manager at Tottenham as well. So, I think we maybe cut him a bit of slack. And he said he had a great performance yesterday, and I agree. I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah. So let's get into the match review from yesterday. Obviously, 3-1 win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I think there was a good vibe around the stadium yesterday. There's a good vibe around Tottenham, and I think it's growing. This kind of confidence within the fan base, within the team, that we can actually achieve something this year, and I think it's showing on the pitch as well. Conte alluded to saying that the squad is a bit more complete now, and that as well is showing on the pitch. I thought that first half yesterday, some of the football we were playing was absolutely scintillating stuff. One-touch football, progressive passes into the final third, getting chances after chances. I thought to see Sonny back was really good, and I thought he had a really positive performance. Christian Romero, to see him back, Conte said he was like a new signing, and he really was. I mean, let's talk about Conte. I mean, let's talk about Christian Romero, because I thought he was a cut above the rest in the defence. He was aggressive, he was calm, he was composed. His decision-making to step out and to challenge players, his hard challenges on Lamptey and a few other players as well. I mean, it's just so good to see him playing again, isn't it?
Yeah, and what I love about him is as well, not only is he really aggressive and, as you say, like he always goes full-blooded into challenges. When he's coming into a challenge, you see like forwards like shit themselves a bit, and he always comes out on top, Romero. But what I love about him is in tight defensive situations where he wins the ball, where you expect maybe less defenders to just boot it clear and just get rid of it, you know, safety first, when in doubt, kick out kind of stuff. He always is very calm. He doesn't mind if he's got a player pressing him. He doesn't mind if he's in the penalty area with players around him. He'll always look for the pass, and he'll always be very composed, and he always usually finds it. His passing seemed pretty decent yesterday, and a few times he was able to pick out a pass in a tight situation, which allowed us to quickly transition to attack, because usually I think teams like Brighton especially, when a defender is in that kind of situation, they'll look to press, because most defenders in that situation will just boot it clear and they'll win the ball back. But Romero was different quality. He knew he was being pressed. He knew he was under pressure. He didn't mind. He was aware of his surroundings, and he made the passes. And those passes were very crucial to Tottenham getting forward as well. And I thought he was in the central role, obviously taking over from Dyer. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He showed leadership as well. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought he played it to perfection. And with a player that's been out for 3 months, to get thrown straight back in to start, you know, he was the player with the most recoveries on the pitch, the most clearances on the pitch, and the highest passing efficiency on the pitch as well. You're talking about 34 accurate passes, which was 97%, 4 long balls, which is 75%, 5 duels won, 9 recoveries, and 5 clearances. I mean,
excellent
absolutely brilliant from Christian Romero. So I thought him and Harry Kane were absolutely a cut above the rest yesterday, especially Harry Kane. I thought he was at it from minute 1 yesterday. The passing was on show from Harry Kane. The finishing, that goal for the first goal was just like a throwback to the Kane of a few years back. I mean, what a goal that was, that finish in the top corner.
And we have Kane back. There's no doubt about it now. If you're ever in doubt whether Kane is back to his full best, now you see it. I mean, he's scoring these goals for fun. He's central to everything we're doing in the attacking areas now. He's coming again. He's still coming deep. He's still being that number 9 as well. The 2 goals really encapsulated that. One from outside the box, curling into the top corner. One poacher finish while the ball is rolling over the line. He'll be probably disappointed he didn't get more goals, to be honest. There was that one chance where he dinked it over the keeper. I've seen it back again.
Was that to Son or was that?
Yeah,
to
I can't quite.
shot?
I've seen it again. Still can't figure out whether he's looking for Son or he's looking to dink it and he just got it wrong and it just fell to Son. But he'd probably be disappointed he didn't score there. Also in the second half, there were so many counter-attacking opportunities where, you know, if we were clinical enough, we could have got another 3 or 4 goals in those moments. And it wasn't just his fault, but, you know, him, Kulu and Bergwijn kept screwing it up a few times. But I thought Kane, again, his playmaking ability, and not only that, what I love about him as well is he's a focal point. He's a reference point, as Conte likes to call him. Whenever we're in trouble, whenever we're struggling to play out of a press, you know that you can get it to Kane. And recently, anyway, I think at the beginning of the season, he was struggling to really hold on to the ball and hold off defenders. Maybe that was to do with a motivational thing, or I'm not sure, because he's always been a quite physical striker, Kane. But at the beginning of the season, he was quite easily muscled off. He was being bullied by defenders. And now it's completely different. It's switched up. He's now the one physically dominating. He's getting in front of defenders, trapping the ball. The amount of times yesterday, it's invaluable when he does this, by the way, and when a little chip ball into Kane and he gets on his chest or he traps it on his first touch and just keeps the ball alive, lays it off to someone and we start an attack. Those moments are invaluable because it sets up so many more attacking opportunities, rather than if Kane gets out-muscled, then we end up losing the ball so much more often. And I think under Conte, he's really developing that side as well of playing with his back to goal and holding off defenders. And I think he was absolutely, again, brilliant. And on the back of the game against Leicester as well, where I thought that was one of the best performances of the season of any striker. I think it was another really strong showing from Kane.
Yeah, and he's really kind of morphing into that Antonio Conte, that classic Antonio Conte striker now, isn't he? He really is. But
15 goals in all competitions now this season.
15 goals in all competitions.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. But, you know, you still expect at this stage of the season probably more numbers than him from Harry Kane.
Yeah, but come on, he's going to have a strong second half of the season.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
And who is it? I can't remember who I bet with. Some guy in the comments said, I said if he gets 20 league goals, he said he's going to get a tattoo, because I said he's going to hit 20 league goals.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past him.
On?
I wouldn't put it past him at this point. I think he's on 5.
5. Yeah, 4 or 5, I think.
No, he's on 5 now because I think he's on more than 4.
So he needs 15 goals in how many games?
18 games.
18 games.
That's really not impossible.
It's not impossible. It's doable, but it's still it's a tall order.
5 goals. No, but Kane, he's done that kind of thing before quite regularly. So I really
he'll
wouldn't
probably score 7 goals in his last 2 games.
He gets 1 hat trick. All of a sudden, that's like 12 in 17. That's really doable. So like
that hat trick's coming on Wednesday night. I'll tell you that.
So like, I'm backing him to get 20 league goals.
Yeah,
definitely.
Look, I can see it happening for sure. But back on the game, and it's just so good. I was saying this. I can't remember who. I think I was saying it to you or I was saying it to Josh last night. That it's just so nice to see a structure about Spurs at the moment. I mean, never mind the wins and the goals and all that kind of stuff. But after being in the wilderness from Jose Mourinho and Nuno and Mason and all these managers coming in,
and also the last 6 months of Poch, you have to say as well.
Yeah, that as well. It's just so good to see that structure of the team again, and it's like. The defense like every player knows exactly what they're doing on that football pitch, and like cast your mind back to 6 months ago when nobody on the football pitch knew what they were doing, and it just
seemed like there was no plan, didn't it? It just seemed like it was when we did win games. It did seem like it was just a piece of individual brilliance and a bit of luck that got us wins a lot of the time. Apart from maybe under Mourinho at his peak, where I felt like there was a structure there, but it wasn't a structure people would like to see. It was just very much sit deep and count and do get the odd counter attack. And I think it worked for a time, but obviously it fell apart.
Yeah.
That structure was
so reliant on individuals, though.
Yeah.
This structure, it's not really reliant on individuals.
It's relied on the system. You can clearly see the wing backs are so far up. Also, the pressing as well. I think yesterday the pressing was a lot more intense than we've seen recently. You can see that with the first goal, winning the ball out of the pitch. Although I know Brighton made a mistake to give us the goal. I think you can see that the pressing structure was very much in play yesterday, in a really devastating effect. I think the midfielders were much improved. I think Winks and Højbjerg in the middle were actually played really, really well. Yeah. Son and Lucas dropping into those deep central areas to get involved in the play was also really great. And then the wing backs always providing an option. You can see why he doesn't like playing the wing backs more than twice in a week, because the amount he asks of them is so much. They get there's so much energy they're asked to provide. But I still think that with them being there, just being there, they don't even have to. Like, that's why I say, like, I much prefer Emerson to Doherty in that position. As much as Doherty might be a bit better going forward, like, Emerson's always going to be there. Like, he's quite a good athlete.
The natural fitness to get up and down the pitch constantly.
He's always going to be an option on the right hand side, whether the quality's there or not. And that, just him being there just commands attention, and it opens up spaces, whereas Doherty might struggle to get in those positions on a regular basis.
Completely.
So I think it was great to see, and then the back three operating as they were. I think especially the first half. The first half was brilliant. I thought
scintillating stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Amount of chances we created, and also when we get in and around the final third, a bit of creativity, like Kane doing that lovely lob through ball to Son, who should have done better. When I think he tried to square it to someone who put it wide. We were opening Brighton up really, really easily. And Brighton, as I've said before, they're not an easy team to play against. Even if they don't win many games, they don't lose many games, and they're always. The game's always close and tight. They don't usually get blown away, even against the best teams. You see them always, even when they lose, they usually play well. And they did have a period about 10 minutes into the second half where they were getting back into it. But apart from that, it was literally all Tottenham. Yeah. They were completely dominant yesterday, Spurs.
I mean, first half there was only one team in it. I was so happy with that first half performance. Really, really, really strong. I mean, Brighton hardly had a sniff at all in that first half. Second half, they changed their system. They came out with a bit more belief, and they did give us problems for those 10, 15 minutes.
It was only one player, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Which player was that?
Basuma. He was brilliant, especially after 15
shots. One forced a really good save out Hugo. The other one off Højbjerg, obviously. It wasn't.
But he was. If we had him, it would be a different story, honestly, because. He was, for Brighton especially, he was a cut above the rest. I thought he was brilliant yesterday, Basuma, and he was really unlucky to be on the losing side. I thought he played really well. And he's one player that I mean, obviously he's got things against him right now, so I don't know whether I like him at Tottenham, but as a player, I would. He's absolutely brilliant. So, you know, if he gets that stuff cleared up, then maybe. But I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was amazing.
He was very good. But you know, even so, like they came back into the game, they got their goal. We hit them back straight away. And as soon as we hit them back, as soon as we scored that goal, it was back to total domination, really.
Yeah, because Brighton weren't building up a bit of momentum before they got their goal. So you're thinking once that goal goes in, you're like, oh, is it going to be a long half an hour? It's 30 minutes
feel
to
a bit
go.
of anxiety creep into the fan base in the stadium, couldn't you?
You know, they cut the deficit in half, and they're the ones in the driving seat. And you're thinking, how are we going to react to that? But we reacted really well. We did, and it wasn't just the goal we scored. I mean, we scored it pretty quickly, but as soon as they scored, we were back on the front foot. You know, and that goal as well, the third goal, those Sonny on his first game back from injury, Conte said he only wanted to give him 65, 70 minutes. And I think that was probably the last thing he did was that goal. And how he just burst past Webster, got him behind, and he obviously caused chaos in the back line, which allowed the ball to nearly fall into the back of the net from an own goal, and Kane put it in. But that was a brilliant piece of play from Son, because he had 3 players around him. I remember I was looking at the piece of play, I was like, Son, release it. You got 3 players around you. Come on, you got to release it. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. But he used that searing pace that he had to get past Webster.
Yeah, that pace there, but he got a tiny bit lucky after that with a few
he got lucky, but he caused his own luck.
Yeah, of course he did.
Because he caused the chaos to get in there.
There was like a bit of a throwback to, you know, I mean, he didn't run anywhere near as much as that goal, but the Burnley goal where he just breezes past players, you know what I mean?
It was like that last moment when he just goes past the last defender. It was very similar.
That turn of pace to get past Webster, that last man, was absolutely sensational. It really
and as I was saying, that was also, you could argue, where he was maybe at his most tired, because I think he went off very soon after that. So to do that, right, you know, when Conte said he could only last 70 minutes, was very, very impressive. But it was good to take him off because, you know, we need him. We've got a lot of big games coming up, and we're definitely going to need Son. But great to have him back. And I actually think Son was pretty good throughout the whole 90 minutes.
He had his hand in the first goal. He's the one that won the ball high up the pitch to relieve. I can't remember who he was it to Højbjerg.
Højbjerg, who then found Kane.
So he had a hand in that goal. Obviously, he had a hand in Kane's second goal, which we just talked about. So, yeah, I thought Sonny was really good, really strong performance, especially coming back in his first game from injury. We didn't talk about the goal from Emerson last night. I mean, he as well had a massive run. I mean, what was it, halfway into our half, he picks it up.
Pretty much, he ran half the length of the pitch, yeah.
He ran it all down to the byline, crosses it in, it gets a massive deflection off Solly March, and creeps in at the back post, hits the side netting.
But his celebration,
Yeah, I was about to say, his celebration, I mean, he looked angry, running off the pitch, then Sonny comes up to him and he starts smiling at Sonny, and then straight away as he goes past Sonny, back to that angry face again. I mean, what do you think that was yesterday with Emerson?
Yeah, I mean...
is it a reaction to the fan base or across social media?
I don't know if it was someone specific. He's like a coach or something. Maybe they've... Because sometimes... A bit like Mourinho, how he would say things to players to try and get a reaction from them. Maybe there's a coach or something. I don't know. Pure speculation. Maybe Conte. It didn't seem to be aimed at Conte, though, but it could be. Conte was asked about it, obviously, in his press conference. He had an interesting answer. He said, he said Emerson needed that goal. He said he really needed that goal, and for his confidence and everything. And he said he thought his performance was top-notch, and he played a really good game, and he believes he's a very good player. And look, Emerson has come in for a lot of criticism since he signed for Tottenham, despite the fact, for me, he's been here 6 months. He's had some good games, he's had some poor games, but I think people have been very quick to judge him very, very harshly because in a few games his crossing hasn't been great, even though he's had a few assists, and in a few games as well he's created some chances. So he's also adapting to a new role, and he's adapting to a new country, and he was also probably not even expecting to join Tottenham before was it a deadline day we signed him, or just before deadline day?
Just before, but yeah, exactly. He just signed as he had that big ceremony opening at the new camp.
Yeah, so it was this whole thing is all very new to him, and as well, not only that, he's had one manager where he's playing right back, and he's learning to play one way, which I didn't even think he was too bad under Nuno. and then all of a sudden it's all switched up, and now he's at right wing back and he's asked to do a lot more attacking than he was before. And before, under Nuno, you'd probably say like his role was like 70% defending and 30% attacking, and now all of a sudden it's like 70% attacking and 30% defending, and he has to try and adapt to that. And I don't think he's doing too bad. I don't think he's been awful or terrible or he's been that bad where people are ready to give up on him. And I don't even think we wanted a right wing back because we didn't believe in Emerson. We wanted a right wing back because we needed competition in that role. Like we don't
believe in Doherty.
Exactly. It's more Doherty than Emerson. And as long as Emerson's fit, I'm not saying he's perfect and we're going to be fine, but I don't think he's that as bad as people are saying. And I think he needs confidence. He needs that belief. And I think that was maybe that started getting to him, all that criticism he was getting after 6 months. So maybe that was a bit of relief getting that goal for him yesterday. And I think he's definitely a good athlete. You saw that with the goal. I think people criticise him for not taking on his man enough. Well, he did that yesterday for that goal anyway. And maybe that's something he has to do more. But I think he definitely needs to be cut some slack, Emerson, and hopefully he can have a much better second half of the season, because I believe he's got quality there. I think he can be a good player for us. I haven't seen enough yet to show me he's going to be our long-term right back for years to come. I haven't seen that yet, but I've definitely seen enough to show me he can be a very good option for us right now.
Yeah, well said, because I think that, someone coming from a foreign league, never playing that position before, it's always going to take them time to bed in. And if it doesn't take them time to bed in, that's kind of like not the standard case, more of a 1 off, 2 off, 3 off to like very, very top players. But a player of his age coming into a new league, new position and what have you, I think he's doing all right. So I think people just need to get off his back a little bit.
And it was up against Cucurella as well. I don't remember anything Cucurella did throughout the whole game. I thought he dealt with him pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And 2 more players I want to talk about are 2 new signings in Kulusevski and Bentancur. Let's start off with Kulusevski because he got a bit more time. I mean, he saw a lot of the ball, didn't he, when he came on? I thought a couple of counter-attacks kind of slowed down with him and broke down with him. But I did think he showed a couple of nice moments on the ball. And he did seem a bit slow on the ball yesterday, but I would say, like, a lot of people are saying he looked really slow yesterday, but I thought that when he did get the ball, he looked slow. But then when he looked to take on his man, I actually thought there was a bit of a turn of pace there.
I was about to say, I think off the ball, he looked a bit slow. Like he had so much space to run into and he wouldn't run into it. He was always like wanting the ball to feet, and then all of a sudden he gets it and he's looking for a pass because the space is gone. But when he did get the ball, it's weird. He seems like quicker on the ball than he is off the ball.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Which is actually something that I read on. Apparently, that's one of his traits. He looks a lot quicker on the ball than off the ball. And a few times he would cut inside, and it's almost like what he's going to do, but it was hard to stop. And a few times he cut inside, and the fullback just couldn't get the tackle in, and he either got a shot off or he got a pass on. And obviously he set up Bergwijn for that chance, which he blazed over the bar. I think clearly the technical quality, you can see he's got a lot of that. I think a few times a ball was. I remember Davis played a really long ball to him, and he took it down brilliantly, and he's clearly got high technical ability. And also, I think he ended the game in a more central area than he did actually out wide in a weird way. So look, it was only I think it was a 25-minute spell. You can't read too much into it early days, but he got 2 key passes. He had a few dribbles. Like, I think he did quite a bit, although it was against tiring defenders, and they were throwing caution to the wind, so there was always going to be a bit more space for him. But I don't think he did too badly. He'll be probably a bit disappointed that he didn't get a goal or an assist given the amount of opportunities he had.
You know what that reminds me of, when it's like he's not slow, but like not as fast off the ball as he is on the ball. It reminds me a bit of the old Arsenal winger Robert Pires. Because I felt like he was a bit similar to that, where, once he got on the ball, his mind is very quick and he could move a bit faster on the ball. But off the ball, he didn't seem like the fastest guy on the pitch. So, I mean, Robert Pires, as much as people probably don't want to hear it, because he's an Arsenal player, an Arsenal legend, he was a top player. Yeah. Absolutely top player. Scored against Spurs bucket loads. And I think if he can do half of what Robert Pires did in the Premier League, we've got a proper top player on our hands.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it was... Look, it was only a short cameo, but I think it's hard to make too many judgments, but I liked what I saw from Kulu. And look, he's going to have more time. He's only been on 2 training sessions. You got to remember that. Conte will know what to do with him. And he seems like a player. Also, physically, he was strong. He was able to hold players off. He'll just be a bit disappointed. It wasn't so much his pace I was a bit disappointed with. I think a couple of times he had options to like feed Bergwijn in, and he just got it a bit wrong. He was like playing it behind him and stuff.
One time he did feed Bergwijn in, Bergwijn completely skied it.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, but he'll have to improve his decision making and stuff. But that'll come with time, and I'm looking forward to what he can do.
Yeah, completely agree. And Bentancur, probably the moment of the game, or the skill of the game, should I say, just in front of his own box. He picks up the ball. Players come rushing to him. He like drags the ball behind his leg to the other side of his other leg, and it was just so nice to see. Completely, he was under so much pressure, and so calmly he gets the ball and just drags the ball away from the attacker. It was so good to see, and I thought Bentancur. I was actually a lot more. Well, I wouldn't say a lot more, but I was more impressed with Bentancur than I was with Kulusevski.
Yeah, again, he only had 13 minutes, but he was pretty good actually. When he came off the bench, he was very much composed in the round. He's actually won the ball back quite a few times in central midfield. He was not only that, but again, similar to Romero, when he's being pressed, he doesn't mind that, and he was actually able to pick out a few passes into attacking transitions, which allowed us to attack. And a few times the counter attacks late in the game was down to Bentancur. And I think the difference between someone like Kulu and Bentancur is you've got to remember with Bentancur, he's been a regular starter for Juventus for about 4 years, for 4 or 5 years now. And he's won league titles. He's been regular starters in teams that won leagues and stuff. So he's very comfortable. Like, he's probably very confident in himself when he's in central midfield. Like, because when you're playing for a team like Juventus, you're playing at top level, high level games, and you're starting regularly, it's going to be a case where you're being pressed and you're being surrounded in and around, like in the high pressure situations. And he's been used to that for very many years, playing at that kind of level. And you can see that confidence, that lack of what's it called? He was always willing to look for a pass. He had so much composure about him. Kulu's a bit different because he's been at Juventus for 18 months, but he hasn't been a constant fixture in the side. He's still kind of trying to prove himself, whereas Bentancur seemed to have that confidence about him, where and that composure in tight situations, and that confidence to play out of those situations, which is really great, and we need that in a central midfield.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he's 3 years older than Kulusevski, so he's got those 3 years of development behind him. He's been playing consistently for a Juventus team that were winning titles, winning trophies consistently in a central midfield, which is a very important role. So he's got an old head on him for the age he is, 24 years old. He looks very calm, composed. And I think he's going to be a player which is going to take to his fan base very quickly, or the fan base is going to take to him very quickly.
And maybe we can appreciate him more than Juventus did, because I think, by and large, from what I hear from Juve fans, it wasn't so much that they didn't think he was good. It was more that he had been there for 4 years, and they wanted him to be more of a leader and take more responsibility. And for one reason or another, it didn't happen. But maybe at Tottenham, a bit of a smaller club, maybe the stakes aren't as high, maybe he can be a bit more appreciated.
Yeah, and with Antonio Conte at the helm as well, you got to say you back him to improve him massively.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we are through into the next round. Middlesbrough await us in the 5th round away at the Riverside. So yeah, good draw for us in my opinion. It's not an easy draw, but I think it's a good draw in terms of some of the teams that we could have got. We've avoided the big boys. But look, really good performance yesterday, really good result, good feeling around the club now, good feeling in the fan base. Looks like there's a good feeling in the team as well. So that is our match review. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on the game. But let's move on and let's look at Twitter. Let's look at how Twitter reacted to the game yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to be reacting to some tweets. If there's anything you do want us to react to as well, just tag us at WeAreTottenhamTV and we'll take a look at that as well while we're looking at some tweets, because we might have missed some stuff. But let's look at some reactions yesterday. We'll start with Spurs Web. They say, absolutely loved this revitalised Davinson Sanchez, the composed, physical and technical, far more assured in his abilities at the back. He's been super consistent recently, and that's one player we didn't mention in our review. And I actually think I completely agree with that. I think he's been brilliant recently. and I thought he was great. Yesterday again, and I think since Conte's come in, he's really improved.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Not really much to add on it, but I think Davinson Sanchez, I think he has improved, but I still think when everyone's fit, he doesn't get into the starting 11.
No, but I think in a weird way, actually, with Sanchez, Romero, and Davis there, I actually think that's a lot more mobile than having Dyer there with Dyer, Davison, and Romero in a way. I think technically, obviously, it's a lot better and playing from the back and stuff. But in terms of being physical and having that pace to make sure you're not getting caught out in behind, I think Sanchez actually adds a lot when he's in the back three.
And, before we've only seen Romero on the right side of a back three. Seeing him in the centre yesterday, took to it like a duck to water, didn't he?
Definitely. And Sanchez looks better on the right, doesn't he?
Exactly. So I think if we're ever going to play Sanchez, it has to be, Romero has to shift into the middle and he'll play on the right, because I think that's the only place he looks good in a back three.
Yeah, definitely. Nathan Clark, big up Nathan. He says, God, how I missed watching my club play good football, participate in good football matches, etc. And that's what you'd be saying about how the structure's in place and everything. And it's good to see that at Tottenham again. It's been a while.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. The structure has come back.
Definitely. The extra inch, that was plenty of fun. It was interesting that we ended in a 3-5-2 with Kulusevski as part of a three-man midfield.
Which is what I've been saying in the last couple of days in terms of Kulusevski, where it is actually possible to play a 3-5-2 with him in the midfield.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we use that more. And definitely seems, as you say, he's physical. He's got pretty good defensive stats for an attacking mid as well. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's something that a tactical plan that can be used by Conte. Spurs official tweeting, "Good to have you back, Kuti." And that's great picture there. Him taking on Morpie, who was in his pocket throughout the whole game. That was great to have Kuti
probably
back.
Still in his pocket now. He probably woke up in the morning and was like, what is that in my back pocket? Is that Neil Morpie? It's still there.
His shithousery wasn't on display. Paul O'Keefe says, some very decent performances tonight at the back. Sanchez and Romero were good. The fullbacks' movement and runs caused them problems. The two new boys came on and looked very lively. Kane doing what Kane does in the hat. A good night's work.
Totally. Absolutely spot on.
Spot on there. Georgia Killia says Bentancur looks silky. Kulu looking a bit slow on the break, but it's his first appearance and might have been told to see the game out. Do you think that could have been something?
I don't know if it was to see the game out. I just think, a bit of rustiness there. First game in English football. I just think, there's not too much to read into Kulu's display. Like I said, he didn't have that much time on the pitch, 20, 25 minutes. So I think it's another one where, you were calling for patience with Kulu, weren't you, when you signed him? And I think that's just a classic case of that.
Definitely. This guy, I believe, is even though he's got Pep in his profile, I believe he's an Arsenal fan, and he says, "Yeah, Romero is fantastic. He's starting to get some recognition from opposition fans." And I thought he was, considering he'd been out for so long, it was so good to see him back and put in such a good performance. And I think he's going to have a massive second half of the season for us. Yeah,
I was saying last night to Josh in the stadium. It just looks like Romero's been there for so long. That's his third start under Conte, and he plays like that after being injured for 3 months.
And considering, how many goals did we concede with Romero out in the league? I think it wasn't too many. I think it was like 5-8 or something, or 5-9. So with Romero back now, it should really turn up even more. Yeah. So that calls for excitement.
Fit for the remainder of the season.
Jonathan Veal says Harry Kane moves to 236 goals for Tottenham, 30 shy of Jimmy Greaves' all-time record.
Wow.
Not long to go, is it?
30 goals behind Jimmy Greaves.
Wow. 30 goals. So he could either come just short or absolutely obliterate that record.
If he stays with us beyond this summer, he'll break it, no doubt.
He'll break it, but he could set a record of 1 or 200 on top of that.
If he stays here for the rest of his career,
he could be well away from that. Which is mad to think about,
especially now. We were talking about Kane last year. It was can this guy get any better? Surely, that's his peak last season. The guy can't get any better. But I actually think yesterday in the last few games, we're seeing the best Kane now.
Yeah, even now. I think against Leicester, he was absolutely amazing. I thought yesterday was a continuation of that. And as I've said with Kane, I really believe the way he plays, he could go on to play in his mid-30s easy and be top of his game. And especially now, you see some of the best players in the world in Lewandowski. He's 34 now, and he's still banging them in all the time. You see Messi and Ronaldo. Maybe they're not as great right now, but they still
37.
Yeah, and he's still banging them in for United. Like, he's got over 10 goals, I think, this season. Messi hasn't had a great year for PSG, but he's 34. He just got the Ballon d'Or. So, like, there are players who right now are lasting a lot longer, and Kane's still only 28. I think he's got at least five years at the top.
With what the game surrounded, like the sports science of it all now. I mean, professionals really looking after themselves. Whole teams of nutritionists and all this kind of stuff surrounding players.
And the way Kane as well, how he looks after himself.
And the way Kane is as a model professional, he is the model professional. You look at players that are at the elite side of the game, like the players that you all mentioned, Luis Suarez, part of it as well.
Yeah.
Harry Kane, Jamie Vardy. I mean, I don't know if Jamie Vardy's a model professional.
He's 34.
But he's still banging them in at 34 years old. I mean, with all of this stuff surrounding it, just helps these kind of elite mentality players to stay at the top of the game for even longer.
And also that's how Kane's thinking, because even that interview he had with Gary Neville, that infamous interview, he was saying how, look, everyone says I need trophies right now, and everyone says I'm desperate for trophies, but I'm 28. I feel like I've got another whole career ahead of me, and so he's clearly thinking of that himself.
Yeah.
Of how he's got a lot of time on his side and he's not panicking. So I think Kane has got a lot more years left on his side.
Totally.
I think people, were always a bit of anxiety. Oh, he's 28. Is he thinking how many years does he have on the top? Even first half of the season, people were saying, is he done? Is he finished? But no chance. Absolutely no chance.
I don't think people were thinking he's finished as a footballer. Just people thought he was finished at Tottenham. I think some,
or maybe I'm just thinking of John Cooper, but John was thinking, he doesn't have it anymore. Yeah. But that was never the case.
I'd like to know John's thoughts now.
Well, exactly. LJ1882 says he said 5 points. We're looking good against a tough Brighton side. Kane is back. Sonny is on his way. Romero was magnificent. Number 3, like Bentaz, composure and quick feet at the back. Number 4, Kulu looked a bit rusty, but he'll come good. Number 5, next round, please.
Come on.
Billy T says, encouraging that, decent performance, Kane scoring, good cameos from the new boys, and a great showing for the applause. Can't ask for much more. That was the applause in the 39th minute for Ashley, the Tottenham fan who sadly passed away. And that was good reaction. Most of the crowd were getting involved in that. So it shows the power of social media, and one post can really make a difference in the crowd. And there was a good turnout for that. Soph says, what is this? And here's a picture of Kane putting his fingers in, I think, Webster's mouth. There you go. Lovely stuff. I'm not sure what Kane's thinking about there, but it seemed to work. He got a couple of goals.
It's the Conte shithousery coming
exactly. Some stats from Romero from All About Argentina. Christian Romero tonight, 34 accurate passes, 4 long balls, 5 duels won, 9 recoveries, 5 clearances. No other player had more tackles, recoveries and clearances than him. Eres El Major, Acuti Romero. So there you go. Some great stats from Romero yesterday in what was a great performance.
El Major mean?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew if anyone could tell me.
No, but to bring up those stats after 3 months out is absolutely sensational.
And I think maybe a lot of it as well is us not rushing him back, because I think before the international break, I think he'd been involved in training for a good couple of games, and I think it was the right decision clearly from Conte not to rush him back and risk any injury, because I think he's come back now completely 100%, and he looks completely on top of his game at the moment.
Completely.
Spurs Web tweeted Emerson.
It means you're the best.
You're the best. Well, there you go. And he's loved in Argentina. Ever since he's broken to the Argentina national team, they've been brilliant, haven't they? Mm-hmm. And he's won the trophies, and he's been great. Emerson.
Exactly. They didn't need Messi to win the Copa America. They needed Cuti.
Yeah, but a lot of Argentinian fans believe that. I read that they believe he's been like the catalyst for their improvement. Emerson Royale on Instagram yesterday, he wrote the message, showed a picture of him scoring, and he wrote the message, "Working in silence." That's what he said. So
silencing the haters as well.
Exactly. Maybe that's what he means, or maybe he means, he's quietly going about his business and he's going to ignore the haters.
Yeah, damn right.
Maybe he silenced a few people yesterday. Harry Kane, Squawker, said Harry Kane has now scored 15 goals across all competitions this season. Only Mo Salah in the Premier League has more. 8 have been under Antonio Conte as well.
How many have been in the Cocoa Puffs League?
The Conference League. How many did he get in the Conference League? He got 2 in the against Passos, didn't he?
Hat-trick.
He got a hat-trick against Mura. Was it a hat-trick?
Yeah.
Or 2?
Pretty sure he got a hat-trick against Mura.
Yeah, he came on and got a hat-trick, didn't he, against Mura?
You know what? I can just tell you really.
So 5. I think that's 5. And then he got 1 in the Carabao. And then he got... Did he get...
Is that all he scored in the conference? Only 5?
I believe so. Did he? Maybe he got 6. Did he get 6 in the conference? He got 3 against Mura. So 6 in the conference.
6 in the conference and 3 in the cups.
Yeah, that makes sense. So... Yeah, that 6 in the conference. You can, if you take those away, it's 9 goals in all competitions. Still not terrible considering how bad he's been. Because we're now in February, so still so much time left. This piece of skill from Rodrigo Bentancur got a lot of fans going wild yesterday.
This was the one. This is what I was talking about.
Bam! Look at that, lovely stuff.
So sexy, man.
Rodrigo,
so
lovely
sexy.
stuff from Rodrigo
I remember when that
Bentancur.
happened in the stadium. Just the whole stadium go, ah! Everyone.
Yeah, it was
so
like, yeah,
excited.
and then he got the pass off as well. It's like, ah! So good, and that's what I mean by composure in tight areas. Really good stuff.
And not only was that moment caused a big reaction from the fans, it was also that crunching tackle from Romero on Lamperty quite early on in the game. That just the whole stadium got up on their feet and went wild.
Cody Mack, big up Cody, says, so are we Kulu sexuals or Bentang curious? Trick question, we're both. Love that from Cody Mack, big up to you. Then, so Spurs as well. After 3 months without playing, Cuti Romero was the player with the most tackles, recoveries, and the highest passing efficiency in the win against Brighton. Yeah, good stuff. Matt Hayes, replying to a tweet which says Kulusevski was subbed on in the 68th minute and had 2 out of 4 dribbles, 10 out of 12 accurate passes, and 2 key passes and 1 big chance created. With Matt Hayes replying, says it's very easy to deceive with stats, especially in this instance. He slowed down 2 out of 3 counter-attacks, but did keep possession well and should have had an assist for Bergvall. I'm not saying he was bad, but let's not pretend he was better than he was.
It's a bit harsh from Matty.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty decent. Like
harsh from Matty. I mean, I get what he's saying. He did slow down 2 or 3 attacks. That's completely factual. But let's just give it time. I mean, there's no need to completely go into the overdrive analysis after 20 minutes.
I know. It's it was when, especially in one way, he created a big chance as well. So I thought, I thought he did decent. He wasn't overawed by it or anything by the occasion.
It's like an overdrive of an analysis of a game that was pretty much over as well. It was 3-1 when he came on, wasn't it?
Exactly. The game was over. Tottenham tweeting, Spurs are now the all-time FA Cup goal scorers of 906 goals in the FA Cup. No one has scored more goals in the FA Cup than Tottenham Hotspur after yesterday. So
won it more than bloody Arsenal.
Yeah, that's a shame. 906 goals in the FA Cup. That's quite a lot. I would think.
Talking about a competition that's been going a long, long time.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. 906 goals.
Last time we won it was in 1901.
Yeah, a long time. So over 100 years of FA Cup goals. And there you go. Let's see what else. I think that is it for now. People have been tagging us. Let's see what people tagged us in. This is a TikTok. I don't know if we can show that. Ismail Med says, how about Wink's position after Bentancur's performance? Højbjerg and Bentancur would be perfect midfield pair.
Interesting. I'd like to know where does Skip fit into this midfield pair? I'd like to see Bentancur partnered with Skip, and I'd like to see him partnered with Højbjerg as well. I'd like to see both of them, to be honest. I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to say who our best midfield pair would be. It really is hard to see because we've only seen 10 minutes of Bentancur, so I think we just need to get more eyes on him and see him more.
But I think all 4 of them. I'm now at a point where I don't. I'm not worried about playing any 4 of them together. They're all quite dependable. They're all quite reliable. None of them four, I don't think, got any liability off the ball, and I think that's what Conte wants.
Yeah.
And Cody Mack again, the last one. Davinson Sanchez has low-key been one of the most, if not the most improved player under Conte.
Ooh, the most improved.
Oh, I think he started the season quite well, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, he has. But I think that when you're looking at the most improved under Conte, Eric Dyer is probably worth a shout. But Eric Dyer as well has had a good season before Conte came in.
Has to be Davis, probably, didn't it?
Davis or Winks.
Or Winks. But Davis has become a nailed on. Kane, you could argue Kane. But Kane has gone back to his level. You can argue Davis. I've never seen him play so well. Davis has never had his place so assured in the team before, has he?
True. How long has he been here?
This is he's signed in 2014, so this is his 8th year.
Wow. It's mad. How old is he?
28.
Yeah.
He signed fairly young. Yeah, he's fairly young when I think 21. So maybe he's 29 now, 28, 29.
I would say, I think it's between Winks and Davis, to be honest, most improved players.
Yeah.
Under Conte, that is. When you're looking at most improved players this season, I think that may be a shout there, but I don't think it's under Conte.
But everyone has improved. Is there not one player who hasn't improved? I can't think of one who hasn't improved.
Every single player improved. The only player that didn't improve were the players that went out the door.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, Dele and Ndombele Lo, yeah, pretty much. Everyone else has got better, and that shows his methods, doesn't it? Completely. All right, and that's it for the Twitter Reacts. Hope you enjoyed that. And there you have it.
All right, so now it's time to get you guys on to have your say. Have we got anyone waiting in the back to speak to us? We've got Renegan. If you turn your camera on, there he is. We can.
Renegan.
I hope I pronounced your name right, but let's get you on in a second. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Can you guys hear me, guys?
Yes. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah.
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing much better today.
That's good. I've seen you even smiles coming onto your face as well today. Obviously, Spurs 3-1 yesterday against Brighton. What were you most pleased about with the performance yesterday?
Yeah, it was a shocking performance. The situation around the cup is shocking. The way we are playing football is shocking. That we are in a top 4 race. We are actually favourites in the top 4 race, I should say. It's shocking. Actually, I've never.
Can I just stop you there for a second? When you say shocking, do you mean? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
When you say shocking, do you mean that in a positive way?
Yeah, of course it should be in a positive way. Of course, it's shocking to see us performing like this. So believe me, whenever I watch this first game, I always pinch myself. To confirm that I'm really in a dreamland or I'm here for real. Seriously, the club has so much improved, guys. That I'm so happy. I'm proud to be a Spurs fan, really, because we are playing better football. We are passing the ball really well. As well, we got Harry Kane firing goals now. He already scored 5. I have no doubt that he can score more than 15 goals at the end of the season. And we have players who really playing for Antonio Conte. And as much as we hate Daniel Levy, you say he's parasite, you don't focus much on Tottenham football. But we need to give Daniel Levy heaps of praise and heaps of credit to bring this Antonio Conte manager in, because this manager is simply incredible. And even though I don't think that he will, my expectations to Antonio Conte of staying here more than 18 months is very low. But if he actually wins the Premier League or the FA Cup or even the Champions League, who even knows? We don't know about that. But if he does that, then we might pronounce his name and chant his name forever in our lives. That's true. My thought.
I mean, who were your standout performers yesterday?
Yesterday, I thought the only one Harry Kane. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Harry Kane. He's one of our own. Absolutely. What a performance! What a performance! he's playing striker, he's playing second striker, he's sometimes playing as a fullback sometimes, and he plays as a center midfielder, he plays as a DMF, he plays as a center back. Like, this guy has everything. A proper, complete center forward. Like, I can't even say him as a center forward because he plays everywhere. He's literally everywhere. He's so much improved. Like, we can take this as an example when Conte improved Lukaku. Yeah, but now Lukaku is not firing at Chelsea. But during his time at Inter Milan, he improved Lautaro Martinez and Romelu Lukaku so much. But I personally think that Harry Kane is better than Romelu Lukaku. Just because Harry Kane, he doesn't think about scoring goals and individual records. He just wants that he plays through the team. He has a better chemistry than anyone else in the team. He knows where Son is. He knows where the fullbacks is. He knows what to do in the right time. Like, he was sensational yesterday, in my opinion. That first goal, like, classic Harry Kane. Classic Harry Kane.
And we had 2 new signings get some minutes on the pitch. What did you make of their 2 cameos?
Look, I don't judge too much through their short cameos. I thought both of them were really good on the ball. They didn't show that much bad or something like that. I don't think they were absolutely I thought when they come through the door, I thought that they would be a very good signing for us, especially for how they showed their potentials in the Juventus shirt. Yesterday, Bentancur, I know he did that one skill, but we don't judge him. Yeah, we're just by doing one skill. So, Bentancur is the best player, best center midfielder in the world. And Kulusevski, just because he's very slow, doesn't mean that he can't run. It doesn't mean that he has a 59 pace. So, like, when it comes to Kulusevski, yeah, people calling him that he's slow, that the other. Hakim Ziyech is not that fast. Right, Maria Mahrez is not that fast. As well as Jack Grealish, he's not that fast as well. So why people are so much complaining about Kulusevski, about him being slow? Whenever he's on the ball, he tries to take on guys, and his passings were very good as well. His decision making was pretty spot on as well. Like, Bergwijn should have scored the chance, but I think that it was unfortunate for Bergwijn to miss that. I hope he'll score in the coming matches.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I mean, let's talk about Christian Romero. Back after 3 months. What did you make out of his performance? I see as soon as I mention his name, a big smile comes up on your face. So talk to me about your
Christian
feelings.
Romero. It feels like he's been here for long now.
Yeah.
So good. Whenever he's on the pitch, he literally is so aggressive. Like, he's brave. He's literally brave. Like, I can't imagine myself being at the back, having the ball. 5 or 6 players are pressuring me, and you just other defenders will just clear it. Even myself, I will clear the ball, and if I won't clear that ball properly, but Romero, he's calm, and he's making the pass, and that pass just contributes to a better counter-attacking possibility. Like, when he passed the ball, the counter-attack is on. It's literally him being calm and him being that brave and being that stubborn. You know, I'm not going to clear the ball. I'm going to make a short pass. Like, it's so much beneficial for the team, and it just shows that he's class. He's literally class, and I don't see why he can be the best centre back in Europe. Like, seriously, like, even in Arsenal, like, he's Arsenal fans are talking, oh, Ben White is better than Romero. Oh, Gabriel is better than Romero. Even United fans getting, I'm not United fans, but even Liverpool fans, Virgil van Dijk, even Chelsea, Rudiger, they're talking about these players, but they never talk about Cristiano Romero. But I hope Romero will shut his haters. He will shut his haters very soon.
100%.
All right.
All right, Renigan, thank you very much for calling in today, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Obviously, it was full time in the FA Cup game against Liverpool Cardiff. It's finished 3-1 to Liverpool with Jota, Minamino, Harvey Elliott getting the goals for Liverpool and Colwill getting the goal for Cardiff.
And currently, Brian Hill is playing for Valencia
against
Real Sociedad.
20 minutes to go 0-0.
He's still on the pitch, though.
Still on the pitch.
Yeah, taking a look, seeing how he's doing. He's playing on the left-hand side.
It says on here he was playing up front from the start. Have they changed? What was...
From what I can see, he's playing on the left.
What, in the 4-3-3?
Seems that way.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to our next guest, and that is Michael. How you doing, Michael?
He's on mute. You're on mute, Michael. Can you unmute yourself? There you go. I can hear something now. No, still can't hear it. Is he on mute? Is he on mute? No, he's not on mute. Maybe it needs to be plugged in properly.
Oh, there you go. I just heard you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
There you
now.
go.
That's great. Okay, so hello lads, how are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Well, cannot be not fine after yesterday's performance. It was really nice to watch them, the lads yesterday. And yeah, I'm just really happy about yesterday's performance. And just by the way, sorry, English is not my native language, so if I don't sound
Where are you calling
properly,
from, Michael?
Poland.
Poland, lovely stuff.
Yeah.
You first time caller? First time called in?
Yeah. Yes, first time caller, and I just became a member today. So
amazing! Well, thank you for calling and showing us your support. But
are you part of the Gregor's Raziak fan club?
Who's sorry?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Also, one thing, I'm just became a fan relatively recently because I watch football since pretty much Mourinho started being our coach. And so you have to understand that seeing our team play so great right now is something new, totally new for me, and I really enjoy watching the lads.
Why did you become a fan when Mourinho took charge then?
So basically I have a younger brother, he's 10 years younger than me, and he loves football, and unfortunately, I know you might not like it, but he's a Chelsea fan.
Ooh.
And yeah, but he is a cool dude, so don't worry about him. And
so you just support Spurs to annoy him?
Kind of. Basically, I wanted to have something in common with him, something to talk about, and I watched the 18-19 season of Premier League without supporting any club. So I watch Wolves, Tottenham, United, Liverpool, etc., etc. And you know what happened in 18-19, the Champions League run, and it was hard not to fall in love with Spurs. And basically, I started watching properly Spurs in the 1920 season, but then Poch got sacked and Mourinho got appointed, and well, from then on, I watched pretty much all Spurs matches up until now. So yeah, unfortunately I missed the best years of Spurs, I guess, because
the best years are yet to come, Michael.
Oh, I hope.
Yeah, look, we now got Conte at the helm, and things have been going pretty well since he's been appointed. And yesterday was another strong showing from the team. What did you make out of our performance then yesterday?
So basically, my thoughts were that through the transfer window and through January, a lot of people, at least I felt panicked a bit because we weren't making signings. The team wasn't performing up to its best, let's say. Let's ignore the fact that we played Chelsea 3 times. So, you have to take that with a grain of, you have to look at that
a pinch of salt,
with a pinch of salt, yeah. And I wasn't panicking as much. Well, I wasn't panicking at all, but I was let's bring the guys from injuries back. Let's see what the club can do with the signings, and then we can judge the team's performance. And I think that yesterday's performance was the proof of that, because we have 2 new signings. We have 3 guys coming back from injuries. Well, Dyer didn't play yesterday, but from what Antonio Conte said on the press conference, I guess we can say that he will be back in the match against Southampton. And yeah, I have nothing bad to say about yesterday's performance. Everyone played their role well, and I think that the performance was really good. I was really happy to see Kane score goals. I was really happy to see Romero tackle enemy attackers, and yeah, what else to say? I think personally that Royal had a great match yesterday, and it's nice to see because I'm not the kind of person to bash our players when they have a bad performance. I think that everyone can have a bad day, and Royal maybe has been having bad days a couple more times than the rest of the squad, let's say, the past 2 months. But I think that yesterday's performance was really good, and he proved something. And of course, he didn't mean to score the goal, but his defending was on point. His attacking was well enough, and I think that he and Doherty will provide the right wing back options until the end of the season, and they're, let's say, good enough for now, I personally think. And yeah,
and the two new boys came on and got a bit of a run out. Did you see much of them when they came on?
Yes. So basically, in terms of Kulusevski, I agree with the points that he felt a bit slow, but as many people said already, it's his first match in the Premier League, and he can improve, he can show us much more, and I would rather him be cautious about his passes and his shooting and his runs, rather than making fatal mistakes and then like turning the fan base on his getting the fan base on his back. And you know how this sometimes ends. They will start bashing him that he is too trash to play, and all the hate spiral goes on. And in terms of Bentancur, well, he only played for like 15 minutes. He did the nice flick, or how do you call it in English?
It's a skill.
Moved past skill. He did a nice skill moving past the attacker. And of course, it's only 15 minutes, so let's not take it the other way. He is not like perfect. He's not the best midfielder in the world, but I see that he has potential. He has a way of improving our midfield, and I think the four of the guys that we have in the midfield right now also will be good enough for the rest of the season. And I really think that the top four is pretty much ours, unless Man United suddenly find the form of their lives.
And in terms of the FA Cup, how far do you think we can go in the FA Cup now?
I probably won't say anything new if we dodge the best teams until the later rounds. I think that we can go on and finish on a semi-final, a final, and if we get to a final, then it's just a one-off game. Everything can happen in such a game. And looking, for example, last year's Carabao Cup, we lost only 1-0 to Manchester City, who were the champions of the league by that time. And you know, one thing could have happened in that match. Maybe we wouldn't lose a goal, and we scored one like with a random flick or something, and we would have won. So that's the magic of finals, at least, I guess, for me.
Yeah, for sure. Michael, pleasure to speak to you, my friend, today. And
thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
I will be calling in soon, probably.
Good. I hope forward to hearing from you again.
Okay, see you guys.
See you, mate.
See you soon.
Hey.
A super chat from Guha Aaron Kumar saying, why was Royale yelling, celebrating at the bench yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, no one's really confirmed what that was all about, but I think a lot of it was just definitely a bit relief off his shoulders after a lot of criticism he's had. So that's probably the crux of it, but I don't know who was aimed at or anything like that. We haven't really heard anything. And Catman Jess with a super chat as well. Big up Ben and Sim. It's my birthday today. I'm 31.
Hey, happy birthday, Catman Jess.
Big up Catman Jess. Love that.
All right, let's keep going with the guests. I believe Jory is here, or should I say Darth Vader is in the chat with us.
What's going on?
Are you my father, Jory? Is that what you're trying to say?
Is he on
Yes,
mute?
Ben.
Oh, there
Ben,
you go.
I'm your father. Yes, handsome. Now that we've joined the dark side, we've become powerful. We will take it all.
Absolutely love that.
It's only me.
I was worried to see what was under that mask, Jory, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's the good old Jericho, so no worries,
good,
guys.
Good.
Yeah.
How are we doing today, Jory?
Very good, I have to say. What a performance yesterday. I'm like what stood out for me after the game yesterday is just like I would really be shitting my pants if I was any other club than Tottenham right now, because even though we're not there, guy, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but the structure that Antonio is putting in there, we haven't had the rebuild yet. We just had 2 guys in, a lot of guys out, sure, fine. But the structure, like you said, you brought up a really good point. Like with Mourinho, there was a good spell there. He actually did make it work for a bit there, but it was so individual dependent, and you could easily see exactly how the bad apples could derail that whole project, and probably did, So, but here it's almost unreliant on who's playing. Look at Sanchez yesterday. He was brilliant. He was really, really solid. He was dribbling past the Brighton players, without showing any nervousness, and so on. This is what this guy's doing for us, and I really think if Antonio, we see the grand design already of what he's going to do for this squad, and if he gets to do what he needs to do, and I'm not we've often been over this, I'm not talking about signing any super headliners, AAA type players or anything. It just sign these solid, really quality players, like clearly these 2 guys are. We saw it yesterday. I was so happy to see them in the Prem, because I like their confidence, their movement, like they weren't scathed and they weren't shy of anything. They just went right in there and they were up to it. They were not out of their league at all, So that kind of that team that he's gonna build, unless a certain someone derails our project. Let's hope this Adama thing is the last of it. That's my hope right now. That team is like Liverpool, even Man City. Like I would say, it's only gonna be Man City that's a real conversation for that team. The team that Conte has in his head. Nobody is up for that. Chelsea is not going to be near it either. Is it going to be next season? Maybe not. But then the season after that at the latest, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Jory, you're really seeing a squad take the shape of Antonio Conte's image on the football pitch, aren't you?
Exactly.
And in terms of the actual individual players last night, who really stood out for you?
I mean, I would say, like you guys know how critical I've been of the whole Kane situation. I have an announcement. Kane is back.
Yeah.
It's official now. It's definitely official now.
The Joracle has spoken.
Yes. For me, he is completely back, and not only back, but in terms of stats or whatever, we'll see. I'm sure he'll get close to the best Mourinho stats. And he might even exceed those, like what I'm seeing now is that he's having at least as much fun as he did at the best days with Mourinho. And to be honest, I think that's only going to grow from here on, So I think he was really outstanding yesterday. I think Emerson was outstanding. I think I wanted to address one thing. Like, I've always rated Emerson really highly. I think he's an amazing player, but he has struggled for sure. And I think that once he came here, he's a very young guy. He's been groomed to play kind of like a tiki-taka fullback, and now he comes in to the Premier League, where you get no space, no time on the ball, and he's now has to convert into a wing back. And I actually think he's progressing quite nicely. Of course, we're going to see some bad performances. He needs to learn that role and all of that, So I don't think Conte is trying to be nice when he's saying that we need to give him time, and so I think Conte believes in it, and so do I. But whether he'll be a long-term keeper or not, I just want to say, like, for me, Emerson is a real bowler, but of course it takes time to get in there. He's very young. I think in terms of him being recruited before Conte came in, we were kind of lucky. He's not like a write-off, which you could have easily gotten, So but I would say, like, Kuti, man, he is
what a player.
I mean, it's kind of sometimes I feel like he starts his run anticipating a tackle before the game's even started. It's like he's so many moves ahead. Like there was one run
he's already
there.
planning his tackles for the next week's game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like unbelievable. His vision is absolutely unbelievable. I don't remember ever seeing, and I don't want to sound too sycophantic either, but I don't remember seeing a defender that has this kind of anticipation like he has, like
not in his
like
first
so
anyway.
No, but just in general, just consistently. I'm even talking like I've watched, I love like Maldini back in the day and all of that, but that was a different, and of course all of the best one have anticipation, like Van Dijk. He's good at it, right? But I don't remember Van Dijk reading the game because he reads things that are not clear to anybody but him, and he just knows where the ball is coming, and it's amazing, and I think, like, of course, the way he can direct the rest of the guys is we're gonna see Davis and think of this, like Davis and Sanchez is not a problem. Nobody's like fussing about it anymore, Remember how much grief these guys used to give us, and it's just gone. It's disappeared, So it's amazing.
And in terms of Romero as well, is the fact that he's been out. It's such a serious injury. He's been out for 3 months, and his first game back, to put a performance in like that, he's going to have a big second half of the season, isn't he?
I definitely believe so, and also I think Kane is going to explode now. So, and I think also Sonny is overthinking it. Like his chance there, where he tries to, inside the foot, tries to set it. He should just a blaster that with his wrist. I think Conte will get, like, for example, Sonny and Bergwijn to be more instinctual. They need to be more extinct. They're overthinking it a little bit when they get the time in the box. So
that's when they're at their best.
Yeah. They just need to go on what they've kind of drilled into themselves for years and years, But I also thought, there were so many good players yesterday, but and I thought I loved what Kulu was doing. I think he's going to be a really needed addition to our squad. The thing, I've been watching quite a lot of Kulu now, and he cuts inside, and like it's the right if you subdivide the penalty area into 4 squares, it's the right outer square. He scores a lot from that square. This is a square that we've been spending tons of time in with no joy, not getting the ball in and not getting good shots off and whatever. And this is really Kulo's sweet spot, really, from I think of everything I've watched on YouTube. He's got by far the most goals from that point of the box, you know. So we are adding yet another, like that was maybe a little bit of a dead spot, you know. Classically, it's you'll find Lucas there or whatever, you know. So Kulu can definitely upgrade that part of the park, and also just like people are talking about him being slow and so on. I don't agree. He's not slow. He's not the fastest, but he doesn't have explosive acceleration, you know. And when you have a Tottenham where you've got a Sonny and a Bergwijn and plenty of other fast players, you know, it's very easy to look slow, you know. But he's fast enough, but he needs a little bit more of a run up than our best players for sure. And he's very, very good on the ball, I think. Bentancur, just another one of those class, you know, just brings calm to the midfield, like you guys already said, you know. And the thing about, I think the acquisitions we're going to see from now on is like, and I was reading an article that Ellie Gold wrote where Paratici is going over the transfers and stuff like that. And Paratici says, you know, first we recruit the player, first the person, then the player. And I think that's a huge thing as well in terms of changing the culture. But I also think, like in general, we'll just see that the players coming in now will need a level of technicality and quality that's just that level higher, and it's just like their default, you know. It's not that they're a superstar in this or that way. It's just like they won't ever go beneath a certain level, and they have a certain ability on the ball, and they have a certain running capability and so on, you know, which in Tottenham recruitment has often been like they've had this amazing one feature type thing, and then they've been so lacking. And like Undambele is the best case, you know, the best guy on the ball, by far the worst guy off the ball, you know. So I don't think we'll see any more of that under Conte's reign, you know. So yeah, it's definitely looking good, guys. I really, I was so happy with the performance yesterday. Hugo Lloris was amazing once again. He's really, I think he's having one of his best seasons ever, maybe, you know. So
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
So exciting! Exciting second half of the season to come, and it's interesting because in going after the transfer window and everything, there was a bit of negativity surrounding everything with, you know, with 3 defeats to Chelsea. But I think there are a lot of reasons to be positive, aren't there?
Yeah, and I also want to remind people the negativity that we had, at least what I experienced, was not about Conte or the squad or anything. It was about the club, like the board, basically. It was about the policies around transfers and the policies that are led to the squad that we had before this window, you know. So that's fully warranted, and I also completely think that the Adama debacle did do something to Levy. I do think that the Adama debacle and the Diaz thing is going to mean that I do believe that Antonio gave Levy a piece of his mind when that whole thing fell through, you know. So I hope that we can go into the summer now with having cleared everything out, really. Hopefully they won't be returning in the summer, most of them, with a really, really strong intention to buy. And for me, I would be happy to buy a lot of Bentancurs and Kulos and whatever Conte wants. I'm not that worried about us not getting a Diaz or whatever, even though his quality. For me, it's about building that core that can be rotated and be the sound like we saw yesterday. We saw a team of plenty of players we've seen be nervous, failing, making wrong decisions, and they were all solid, stable, no nervousness. It was unbelievable. For me, I would say the worst player really was Højbjerg yesterday. If we
Really?
have to go into that,
interesting.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I thought he played
like
quite well, Højbjerg, yesterday.
yeah, but you guys are better judges of it. You're in the park, and his role is very important towards the off the ball movement as well, and I don't see that in the TV, So, but I think like his technicality on the ball is quite showing compared to the rest of the squad now. But he didn't make any mistakes or anything. But he seemed the most nervous to me, actually. And I would say Winks was then the second worst. But they weren't bad, either of them. I'm not saying that. But they were maybe the least shiny examples on the pitch for me. Yeah, so... But I just, in general, I just like, I don't think, you tell me, guys, if I'm getting ahead of ourselves. The picture that Conte is painting for us in a game like this, that team, when he fully builds that, has the full squad, I don't see how, like, all of the top 4 clubs should be scared shitless. I truly believe that.
Yeah, I mean, I think from inside of Spurs, I mean, we can think like that. I think that we've been burnt so many times with good managers coming in and the hierarchy doing what they do at Tottenham Hotspur. But I think that when you're looking at the rest of the Premier League to be scared of Tottenham, I don't think that's going to come until we do something serious. I think now it's just a bit too early days to say that.
Yeah, true. And I preface it on if it gets to be what Conte is designing here. If we follow his design, I'm telling myself that I can see what his design is, and if that design gets completed, then I really almost feel sorry for the rest of the league, because that's a crazy solid team. That's just, it's much more practical. It's much more pragmatic than a Liverpool and a Man City. So I think, like, yeah, I just hope that, exactly like you say, Ben, our board won't get in the way of this now. If they do, it's gonna be the last of this club, really. But let's not go there. Let's hope that they learn from this.
Jory,
Exactly, yeah. Let's hope they learned this January and what not to do, and maybe Hitchens going out is maybe a part of that. I don't know. Maybe Hitchens was involved with that at Armadillo in some way. We never know. Yeah, this culture, this structure, this tactics, this intensity on the field is just unbelievable to watch. It's a joy.
Completely. Jory, always good to speak to you, especially after a win as convincing as that. And we'll speak to you very soon.
Yes. Take care, guys. See you soon.
Take care.
Jory.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come
on. Just a bit of a Brian Hill update. I'm pretty sure they've just given him man of the match.
Oh, really?
In the game for Valencia, nearly scoring.
Did he get man of the match in the last game as well?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he just got Sky Sports or whatever, or beIN Sport have given him man of the match for Valencia today.
Go on the hill.
And a comment here from the Americanca says, all these fans who were so rude and unempathetic about Kane 3 months ago are proof why you should always choose patience over instant condemnation.
Very true.
Very true.
Very true.
I agree with that.
All right, let's bring on Dan THFC. Long time no speak, Dan. Where you been?
I've had a lot of stuff going on recently, but I'm back, and that's what counts. I'm back, and I'm
You're
ready
back.
to
Good to have you back, Dan.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy to be back after a performance like yesterday.
You waited for performances to get a bit better, then you're back on. Exactly.
I've been watching Tottenham. I just haven't been on YouTube recently.
Fair enough, but look, yesterday we were through to the next round of the cup. What did you think of the performance yesterday in general?
Oh, the first half was absolutely phenomenal. I think it had a mixture of Brighton not being able to play out the back to save their lives, and us playing phenomenally whenever we got the ball. The second half, Brighton dominated, We did get a few chances. I feel like their goal was like our wake-up call.
Mm.
So then we started attacking, and we fixed how we played. I felt like Antonio Conte was a little disappointed at how we started the second half. But we win. We're into the next round, and I'm delighted.
Yeah, and talking about individuals, obviously Kane back in, can continue his good form with a couple of goals. Romero back from injury after 3 months, putting in a stellar display. Who stood out for you individually?
That's the thing. No one stood out individually. It was like a unit. We were playing like a family.
Mm.
You see, like everybody was doing their part. Emerson Royale played phenomenally yesterday. Romero, he was just incredible. Mope was not having a sight of ball the whole 90 minutes. Harry Kane as well played phenomenally. If anything, I'd actually agree with previous caller that Højbjerg was the only one that I think he was off the charts a little in that starting 11. He didn't have a bad game. I don't know, because I think it's also true what he said, that you guys are watching it in the stadium, we're watching it on the telly. There's some stuff that you guys see that we don't see. But there was this one play where I saw Højbjerg. He won the ball and he was celebrating. That got me happy, because we're playing like, you know what this reminds me of, how I'm feeling. Last season, when we beat Manchester City and Jose Mourinho, and we all were like, we won the ball and we were like screaming, celebrating for every throw in. That's how we should be playing, and I was absolutely delighted from yesterday's performance.
Dan, in terms of the new signings, Kulusevski and Bentancur, what did you make out of their little cameos yesterday?
So Bentancur is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I think we actually signed a very good player. Kulusevski, he did look good, but not at the level of Bentancur that I saw Bentancur producing. Bentancur looked like a player that's been playing with the club for 4 years, not his debut performance. Kulusevski, I agree with the tweet from Matt Hayes that he was slowing down play a little bit, but he did look good. He was cutting in, and he was creating chances. I really did like when he cut in and played that ball to Steven Bergwijn. I really wish he would have put that away, but still, brilliant performance from the two debuters.
Yeah, and in terms of the FA Cup, we are into the 5th round now. We play Middlesbrough away in the next round. If we win that, we go into the quarterfinals. I mean, how far can we go in this tournament?
Let's go and win it. Let's go on and win it.
Come on.
There's nothing stopping us now.
Not even a little bus called Manchester City or Liverpool or Chelsea.
Yeah, that bus will probably stop us.
No, but have a home tie. Bring on anyone, right?
Yeah, but Chelsea is just a little bit too strong.
Forget Chelsea.
The last 4 games we played.
It'll be 5th time lucky with Chelsea.
Yeah, you're right.
Lovely stuff.
All right, Dan, always good to speak to you. Welcome back, and look forward to seeing you more.
All right, see you later.
Nice one, Dan. Spurs. Good to see you, mate.
All right, let's keep going. We got Brains up next. I'm not sure about that colour shirt, Brains.
Yeah, you got me. Look, I've got a red kind of sports like jacket as well, and the thing is, it's a Scotland top, so calm down. This one is actually. Yeah, this is for a friend. So
does that make it any better than in Scotland?
But also, I do love red. So what can I do?
Do you? Oh no, that's poor, man.
As in a color that looks good on you. Like red does look good on me. Like guys, let's be honest, red looks good on me.
You're looking great. You're looking great.
It brings out my eyes. You know.
Brains, we have to make sacrifices for the good of the noble cause. I think you have to sacrifice the color red.
Look, sacrifice for the good of fashion. and what turns a lady's head. All right, that's all it's about.
All right, enough about the colour red, but let's talk about the game last night. I mean, we were both there last night. You were there, I think, row 1, weren't you, in the south stand?
Front row seats, having chats with Hugo, just shooting the shit. Like, you know, it was banging.
Pulling middle fingers up on the goalkeeper. That was one of the funniest videos. That was such a great video.
What video is that?
He recorded the third goal and he accidentally put it in slow-mo. So he's got the whole like goal reaction in slow-mo. And you just see Brains lifting up his middle finger to the goalkeeper in slow motion. So funny.
No, because you see my mate Alex, and he's jumping, and then it goes into slow-mo, and you catch him in the air, just like slow. And then I turn it to Sai, and Sai's like. and then I look at I think who was on the was it Lewis Dunk on the ground, and he's just like he can't get up, and obviously it's in slow motion.
Can we play it like now?
I could try it. I could try to send it to
It's on WhatsApp. It's on the Watch Along WhatsApp group. It's a brilliant video. But it's about 6 minutes long because it's all in slow motion. You can maybe
just watching like Lewis Dunk try to get off his ground. It looks like he's so depressed. He's like, and there just comes the middle finger, like, "Fuck you, buddy." Dude.
The best thing about I love your slow mo noises.
Dude, it was like so good. Obviously, like. Every time I always go, I'm always like a little bit further up, like kind of closer to where you guys are at.
Yeah.
Like a couple, even like the Norwich game, I was just like above the goal a little bit. It was perfect, but it's something weird about being that front row. Like you could almost touch the grass, you know. The instinct most of the way through the game was just like run on the pitch. Like I just want to run on the pitch. It was so weird, but seeing like how they organized themselves at the back, hearing Hugo like. Talk, you know, I thought I was going to need some sign language. Thought I was going to need someone to kind of be. No, he's really clear, and he's like really
is he talking to them, Brains?
Quite a lot. He was getting in the ears. A lot of the time, he was getting in Sanchez and Emerson's ears to the point where they kept turning around and being like, "Just like leave me alone, like calm down." So I did feel like you almost feel like his energy when you're right back, like his nervousness. I did feel like a couple of times he's like there was a time where he was wondering about that right. He kept kind of like directing them down that side, and then a guy Emerson was just so far away from their wing back, and then he kind of did him, and he got in, and I think Guti got to the ball, but I looked straight away to Hugo, and he was just like, oh, and you could see he was getting a little bit, and he was getting like annoyed, and he was like. Moving his head like that, he kind of actually wears his expressions quite a lot, so you can kind of tell that he's frustrated and annoyed. Definitely, it was impressive because when you watch on TV or when you're behind the play, you know, you don't really see how much your captain's actually doing. You know, I've always been the case of like, oh, Højbjerg or Kane should be captain, but I thought that a little bit different after being able to be so close and hear him like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because after the documentary, a lot of fans felt the same, that, you know, maybe Lloris shouldn't be our captain, and then you saw his leadership qualities in that documentary. But another player that must have been amazing to watch up that close, being in row 1, was Cuti Romero last night. I mean, it must have been amazing to see it from that close.
You know what's really weird? Like Jory said something about he's like making the runs before the game. He's been out for months. And he comes back, and he just seemed like so fucking cool. Like he kind of like walks like this, kind of like he slaps his feet down. Like he's just so like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, what? I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you. Like he's got this kind of like, I'm completely composed and just at home here in front of 60,000 people. There's not a single. You know, you see sometimes players are like. They puff their chest out, they take breaths, and they're kind of like try to compose themselves, calm their heartbeats. He's just like what are you worried about? Like he's just so calm. I kept saying to like Sai next to me, I was like, do you think he looks too calm? He looks like so composed, and then like something happens where he's at centre back, and by the way, that's his spot. Like he was able to clear things at left back, clear things at right back. Like someone got a run. Davies kind of committed himself, and there was a pass in behind, and the pass was a perfect pass. And he just like from probably like 10 yards, just the speed he got to the ball before the player who was way advanced than him, and he just cleared the ball out. And he didn't clear the ball out. He took a touch, tapped it, and we played tiki-taki out the back. And I was like, God damn, like what we miss when he isn't there. Just having your centre back assured, that is the thing. Like, because even when Dyer is playing good, and he's a strong player. Dyer's like strong, so he can be quite commanding. But I never feel like he's absolutely sure. I never feel like he's talking to his left and right back, going, and making them feel certain. Like, so that's what Conte seems like he wants. He wants a right centre back and a left centre back to kind of be able to go out to the ball and stop things. And then but you need your centre back to be like absolutely clear everything, So that was just like, the more the game went on, I was like, God damn, I was thinking, like, did we give Guti too much respect when he came in, because he had really good performances, and maybe we've been starved of centre backs. So I was going into it thinking, just watch Guti this game. Like, is he really that good? And after about 15, 20 minutes, I was like, God damn, he is something else. Like, I was genuinely thinking, like, he does have a kind of, he does have like some of the greatest defense. He's got like that composure in him where you can see, like, if this guy stays away from the treatment room, he could be something pretty special, He does have a Van Dijk composure about him. He really does.
No, I can definitely see that. But in terms of, you say that that's his position, the middle of the back three. What does this mean for Dyer? And do you think that back three yesterday should be the back three that we need to be moving forward with?
To be honest, like, watching Sanchez and just being that close, and like what happens when they clear the ball out and the little interactions between them, and just like I got the feeling personally that Guti, when the ball came in the back, kept like not wanting to go to Sanchez. I got the feeling like he wanted to kind of not slip and go that way. I'd rather go the way of Reggie and Ben. That's the feeling I got from him. I don't think he was 100%. There's a couple times where like they spread the ball and like Sanchez just kind of seemed like he was like rushing to get to it, or like not really composed on the ball. So I don't think Sanchez is. I was every time that right set, like their left wing, our right side, I was nervous every time they were coming down that. It seemed like they could easily play around it. Emerson wants to be a right back or a right-sided centre back because he was coming so close to Sanchez all the time. There was in the second half, I was down the other end, but a ball went over the top of Sanchez, and if Emerson was in the position where he should be in, he would have easily cleared. Like, he would have been just like tapped it out or whatever. But he was so close to Sanchez that the ball went over the top. So I think the positions, watching the glaring thing for me, like just sitting right behind the goal, was watching the communication between Sanchez and Emerson is off. It's just wrong. It's not working. And Emerson comes too far in. He gives his the wing back like 20 yards, and then he rushes into the wing back, and then the wing back can easily just go around him because the wing back's then got the run on him. He's like, this guy's rushing at me. I can easily drop the shoulder and go around him. So I just think he's not really got that wing back roll down. And yeah, he scored a goal. It was deflection, but I didn't really rate Emerson's performance. I was nervous every time they got the ball down that side, and I got this worrying feeling off of like his other players around him. So I do think next season we'll have to see how it goes to the end of the season, but him and Sanchez, and I watched Sanchez midweek, and the rash, unbelievable challenge he puts on Dybala late in the game. It's just like, this guy, like he's got that in him. There's no way you can sit there feeling comfortable watching Sanchez. He's got it in him that he's just going to take someone out. So for me, I think Dyer would be my right side centre back. I think Dyer, Guti, and Davies. I think that's a lot stronger. And then a better right wing back. But everything else for the team is feels like it's getting super strong now,
Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about Dyer being on the right-hand side of that back three. Look, we'll see how it moves on. We'll see how it goes forward. But in terms of our prospects now in the FA Cup, all the big sides pretty much kept apart from each other in the draw. How do you rate our chances of going and winning the thing this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a case of if we can keep Guti fit, if we can figure out the right dynamic at the back, if we can just go on a run of games of just getting, just getting like clean sheets. Just win games 2-0, just get that confidence in so that it feels like there's a white wall at the back. If we do that, then I think anything towards the end of the season, I think will be a completely different world, because you start to get now you've got stronger midfield. I thought Bentancur, fuck me, he just looked so composed, and he looked like he was at the back doing things, but then next thing you know, he's charging down their goalkeeper. He's advancing play in the right ways in the midfield. So again, I thought just watching him and just being there, and it was we don't have a player like this. And for me, his composure and his just winning the ball quick is way better than Højbjerg, and I'm a massive Højbjerg fan. I was thinking that Højbjerg was our best midfielder. Now it's Bentancur, and that's not just because of just of this 15 minutes. I've seen a lot of Bentancur, and he is just a world-class midfielder. So that's what I'm saying. If we solidify the mid and back, if we're going against top teams to play a low block, we're going to be very hard to beat. So it's just getting that culture going. We are not shit. We are a strong team. We are, we have to become unbeatable for the end of the season. And then top 4 is ours. And I think get to the final, even if you play Man City or Chelsea in the final, after a run, we've played Chelsea in 3 games there when we've got a decimated team. We're not really confident. Everyone in the stands is going into it thinking we're going to get hammered here. The feeling's low. Bring your full team back, get a good run, and I think anything's possible. I do think we'll get to at least semi-final, but I've got a good feeling that we could possibly go to the final.
Before we let you go, Brains, we do have a little snippet of your video ready to play. Should we play it?
That's awesome. Yeah, play it.
Let's go it. Let's bring it on. I want to show the people. Does everyone want to see it in the comments? A bit of slow-mo celebration.
Wants to see it. Let's bring it on.
Just wait for the middle finger.
We're not going to show all 6 minutes, but we do have a little snippet we can show. So let's get that. Let's bring it on.
Oh, there's silence.
Brilliant.
All right. Now wait for it.
Just until it.
Fuck you.
Absolutely brilliant. How long do you keep that there for, Brain?
It was probably 30 seconds, but it just seemed so epic. I'm like, no, fuck you.
It's like a never-ending middle finger when it's in slow-mo. It's brilliant.
Oh, God, that was so hilarious. Oh, no.
Absolutely brilliant stuff, Brains. Excellent.
Classic stuff.
There you go.
Brains, awesome. I'm sure we'll speak to you very soon. Thanks for coming on.
Nice one, dude. Take care.
Nice one, Brains.
We've got a few super chats to get through. El Saeed says, yesterday I was in the stadium for the first time and I'm still buzzing. Bentancur was absolutely amazing. Come on, you Spurs. Enio Rodriguez says, I speak Portuguese and I could understand what Emerson was saying when he scored the goal and he was shouting, I'm staying, I'm fucking staying. Interesting.
Are they staying at Tottenham or staying in the team? What do you reckon?
I don't know what he means, but...
Interesting. I'm staying.
He ain't going anywhere because the transfer window shut last week. So.
Yeah, it wasn't going anywhere. What, do you reckon there are rumours of us trying to sell him or something? Or
I don't know.
Very odd. I wonder what he meant by that. But all right, that's interesting. Good to know.
Yeah, let's go on to our next guest, and that's Mr. Coach Stell.
Yes, Stell.
How are you doing today,
guys? Yeah, I'm freezing. I'm cold. I've been outdoors all day today. I'm just I'm so tired.
Did your team win? Were you coaching today?
Yeah, we won through to the quarterfinals of the cup. We won 5-3. So
good weekend all round.
That sounds like a Stell team. The way you like to attack, you won 5-3.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
On the front foot. To be honest, I was tired when I woke up anyway because we did the watch along and that finished about 10, and then obviously the call in. And by the time we got home, it was about 1. So I was just tired anyway.
Whenever you're in for the watch along, Stella, I always see a little whiteboard here saying, please wrap up soon. Because we're here too late. I thought it was very funny. But look, great job on the watch along once again last night. What were your thoughts on the game? How positive was the performance for you?
Yeah, I mean, we were in complete control, to be fair. In the first half, there was only one team on the pitch. Brighton stunned me. They were poor. They were very poor. Not the Brighton that I've been watching this season. And we took full advantage of it as well. I kind of felt that Emerson and Reggie both at the same time played really high up. And we did a tactical show with Sim about how in the Carabao Cup, how I didn't like the way the wing-backs were positioning themselves. Well, against Brighton, they did the complete opposite. And it showed, because whenever Brighton tried to play out from the back or the defenders have the ball, the high wing-backs plus the players in the middle pushing, just we're causing them problems. We're capitalising on their mistakes. We're pulling them out of shape. And that's the purpose of playing with high wing-backs. And we did it really well. I don't think Reggie and Emerson had particularly great games, but positionally, they both did really well in that first half. Kane's goal was just absolute world class. And yeah, Brighton never really got going. They got going in the second half. I'll tell you what, I'd love that Basuma at Tottenham, you know. I was really, really impressed with Basuma. I think he's a cracking player. I was really happy to see Kulu and Bentancur play. I thought Bentancur had a solid debut. And Kulu, his decision-making in the final third is very, very good, you know. Really good decision-making. I think he's better suited as a number 10. I think he could be an Eriksen replacement potentially. But I'm not going to get carried away over 15 minutes watching Kulu and Bentancur. But if we're just judging it on that, yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff.
A lot of people talking on social media about Kulusevski, about his pace, and they thought they were a bit worried about his pace. I mean, do you share the same worries?
No, because when Bergwijn first played for us, everyone was saying that he's the slowest fast player we've ever bought. And you need to get up to the pace of the league. The Premier League is the fastest league in the world. Also, you could just tell there were certain things that I think he wanted to do, but he held back, and that's that shyness. When you first join a team, you want to just get everyone's respect, and the easiest way to get people's respect is just do the simple stuff well, and then you bed into the team, and then you can be a bit more flamboyant. You can be a bit more electric with what you do. So give it 6-7 weeks, then we can talk about his pace. But yeah, you know what? If Harry Kane finishes that chance from the edge of the box and Bergwijn finishes that chance from 8 yards, would be saying how Kulusevski got 2 assists on his debut.
Yeah.
So, you know, his decision making for me is what really impressed me. I like the way his brain ticks, but it was only 15 minutes, so I'm not going to get carried away.
Stel, I remember having a conversation with you about Romero, and about a lot of people saying, does Romero come straight back in when he, obviously I know he was came in because I got an injury technically, but we're having a discussion about whether Romero should go straight back in after when he comes back from injury, or does, you know, Sanchez deserve to keep his place? You know, after the performance he put in yesterday, what's your opinion on that? Because I know initially it was Sanchez should stay in the team, but what do you think now?
I think because Dyer was injured, because he wasn't even on the bench, I think that decision kind of was made, wasn't it? It would have been interesting to see what we do if Dyer wasn't injured.
But next game, if Dyer is fit for next game, what do you do?
Well, Romero had a really good game, so you're probably looking to start him. But my concern was partly about him getting up to match fitness, and if you look at it, he went off with cramp. So luckily Conte took him off, but that could have been hamstring injury. You know, it could have been worse, but luckily for us, it was a mild injury, just a bit of massaging, bit of a rest, and it's gone after, you know, half a day. So do you know what it is, Sim? There's no wrong or right answer. You just make a decision, and then the outcome tells you if it was the wrong or right answer. So was it the right decision to start Romero yesterday? You'd have to say yes, it was. I probably would start him the next game because he had a really good 70 minutes on the pitch. So he's kind of earned his stripes to start the next game for me.
What impressed you about him yesterday for you?
His first touch. His first touch is excellent. He doesn't panic on the ball. He's very forward thinking. A lot of his passes are down the middle, and it sets the midfield off. You know, it's almost like he can trigger the attack. He's a very forward thinking player. My only thing that I just feel a little bit concerned is because he likes to defend high up. Sometimes he's a bit rash, and he can either get a booking or where he slipped and got caught out for that ball that went through to Mope, and Mope completely fucked it up. That's Romero showing his naivety. So what I was saying yesterday on the fan show when callers were coming on the show, it would be nice to see an experienced, mature centre-back play next to him to just guide him and develop him into that world-class player that he's really got the potential to become. But other than that, you know, he had a very, very good game for us. And I get excited when I see intelligent football players. And I think Romero is an intelligent football player. So, yeah, good stuff, man. Good. Great to see him back, you know. And people are right. People are saying it feels like a new signing, and they're right. It does feel like a new signing.
Yeah, a player who we haven't mentioned that much on the show today is Heung-min Son. Also been out for a while, come back in yesterday. What did you make out of his performance? Because he had a hand in, you know, both Harry Kane goals yesterday.
Well, Henry Wright and myself, we were saying at half-time we'd take him off because he just didn't look sharp. And literally, the second half, I think it was about 60 minutes or 55 minutes had gone. And Henry Wright and I were both saying, take Son off and bring on Kulu. You know, that sub's got to happen. And literally a minute later, he got on the ball, went past two players, and the ball ended up in the back of the net. So, sod's law. He goes and does something that we were saying he's not doing all game. But that's Son for you, isn't it? He's always got something in his locker. I personally would have still taken him off. I know that he contributed to that goal, but he just, for me, lacked that bit of sharpness. And it's that sharpness we need when only one or two players can score goals. If you look yesterday, only Harry Kane scored. Bergwijn missed a chance. Son missed a chance. I think Emerson missed a chance from 4 yards out where he's mishit the ball. So when you've only got one or two goal scorers consistently goal scoring in the team, and one of them isn't sharp, I personally would bring them off. But he stayed on and he did help create the goal. So hopefully he just gets that sharpness part.
I was going to say, you say that about Son, but, you know, before he got that injury, he wasn't exactly playing well, but he always seemed to get a goal, didn't he? Or definitely make a goal contribution. So even when he's not playing well, he can always pop up with something, can't he, Sonny?
Well, this is what I mean. When he's sharp, he's on it, he'll get a goal. One chance, one goal. Sonny's capable of that. That chance where I think it was Kane fed him in and he went one-on-one with the goalie from the angle and he's hit it at the goalie. Do you remember that chance Son had?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. A fit, sharp, ready to go Son probably scores that. And that's what I mean. It's just that little bit of sharpness he's lacking, but that's to be expected. He's been out for, you know, almost, 3-4 weeks he's been out. So
yeah,
it's expected that he's lacking a bit of sharpness. But listen, it's Son. He's arguably our best or second best player. So I totally understand if he's fit or at least ready to start. I totally get why he starts, because at the end of the day, Sonny's just amazing. We all love Son. And he did enough to contribute towards us winning. So fair play to him. And hopefully, if he and Kane can build that partnership that they had last season under Jose, we could be in for an enthralling end to the season with them two.
Definitely. Talk to me about Kane, because another 2 goals yesterday, and he's really looking back to his best, isn't he, Kane? Is there no doubts about it now? He's back to his best this season.
Man of the match for me, Harry Kane yesterday. Man of the match. His goal was wonderful. His decision making when passing the ball was excellent. Probably could have got another goal, and he's probably kicking himself he didn't. But yeah, he's looking like the old Kane. I kind of find, like, some fans criticize him for being too deep, but this is why I'm not a big fan of the 3-4-3, because the 3-4-3 depends heavily on the midfield and the wing backs getting the ball to the front three. I don't quite think we're there yet with those players in midfield to get the ball to the front three. So I wouldn't play with three across the top, because the only way we get the ball to the front three is when one or two of the three drop into the middle to then feed the player that has stayed up. And that's what Kane was doing most of the game. So I think 3-5-2 is better for Tottenham. And I think it's better for Kane, because Kane can just stay there as a striker and do what he does best and score goals. But yeah, man of the match for me. I thought Harry Kane, like you said, he's looking like the old Harry Kane again.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Music to all our ears. Finally, FA Cup into the next round, Middlesbrough away. How do you fancy our chances of going all the way this year, Stel?
Well, Henry Wright, he predicted that we'd get a tough game like West Ham, Chelsea or Liverpool. And I said, we're going to get an easy game. We're going to get an easy-ish game.
Say an easy game,
away. Listen. This is not a hard game for Spurs. I watched Man United Middlesbrough. Man United should have put that game to bed. They missed chances galore. If that game got played another 9 times out of 10, Man United are winning that game. All right? It was a freak game, and it happens. It's the magic of the cup. Spurs will go away to Middlesbrough, and we will knock them out. I am so confident we will beat them. We're not going to lose to Middlesbrough, guys. The teams I'm worried about are City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. They're the three that we always come unstuck against when it matters. Chelsea and Liverpool, you can pretty much say, we hope something happens. City, you'd say we've got a chance because we've got a bit of history in beating City. So although City are the best team in the cup, best team in England right now, if we were to land a top side, I'd rather land City than Chelsea or Liverpool, because Chelsea and Liverpool just seem to always do us when it matters. So listen, you'd expect us to get at least quarter-final. I expect us to get to the semi-finals this season, if I'm going to be honest with you. I expect us to get to the semis, and then it's down to injuries, a bit of good fortune, us having a stellar game. Can we win the FA Cup? Of course we can, but I don't think we're favourites at all. I think City, Liverpool and Chelsea are probably the favourites, as always, though, because they're the top 3 teams in England, naturally, right? But there seems to be a very hard-working team there now, and this is what I was saying to you guys. If we do get top 4 this year, it's because we're going to graft our way to top 4. Conte's got the players that he wants that are going to work hard for him, and they're going to give 100%. Whether it's good enough on a skill level, I don't know, but on a hard work desire level, you bet we'll be in the mix now. I think that's a fair way of looking at it.
In terms of the top 4 race, still got a lot of teams to go to away. Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal at home. I mean, how many points do you reckon we need to pick up out of those kind of games to put ourselves with a chance of finishing top 4?
Listen, predicting points, I just can't do stuff like that. It's so difficult because then you've got to kind of predict what the rest are going to do. But what I will say is this: before the transfer window, I said that the favourites for top 4 for me were Man United and Arsenal, and it depends what we do in terms of the transfer market. What shocked me was what Arsenal did. I think Arsenal have shot themselves in the foot. Massively. I think what they've done has absolutely changed the whole game now for top 4. West Ham, they will have to juggle Europa Cup, League, FA Cup. It's going to get too much for them. So I actually think now top 4 is between Man United and Spurs, because we've got rid of the players that aren't going to work hard for Conte, and we've brought in players that will work hard. So I think top 4 is between United and Spurs. I'd say United are favourites only because they've got more match winners in their team. But injuries in key areas to either United or Spurs or Arsenal completely changes it. So look, we're in the mix, guys, and I think it will go to the last 2-3 games of the season. I really do. What's key for us though is we've got to play Arsenal and United still. If we can get points in those games but definitely not lose, it keeps us in the mix right to the end. So look, guys, do you know what? If you look at the start of the season, the way it went, and you look at things now, you've got to say as a Spurs fan, you're just happy that we've got something to play for. There's nothing worse than being out of everything and having nothing to play for mid-February. We're in the FA Cup. We're in a top 4 race. It's still something to look forward to and to get excited about. And that's all we can ask for based on how this season started.
Absolutely, Stel. Always great to speak to you, my friend. I'm sure a tactics video is in the offing after that game, so we'll see you very soon.
You bet, guys. Listen, great job as always, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Nice one, Stel. Good to see you, mate.
Nice to see you. Any more? All right, that is it for today. 2.5 hours. I love doing these shows after a great performance like it was last night. We'll be back with player ratings very soon. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.